Okay, good morning, everybody. Now, I had a class actually at 1 o'clock, I believe, but since I have meeting, so I thought I'll just take the class now. Very quickly, I just write what we have done in the last few classes, and then I will continue with today's class. Yeah, this is the syllabus, and I have already told you that we are in the other day we have finished model number 2, and we are going to start with model number 3 today, in which we are going to learn about pattern matching with regular expressions. Then we will learn in Python how to read files and how to write to files. Basically, this is what we're going to do in the third module. And then in the fourth module, we will be discussing about classes and objects, basically the object oriented. We are going to learn the object oriented features of Python programming language. And then the fifth module is basically on the applications of Python, where we can use Python for web scraping, and what are the other applications of Python. All that, we will do it in the fifth module. So we have started with module number 3 right now, in which we're going to learn what is the meaning of pattern matching using regular expressions. Now I'll just go to the textbook. Yeah, this is the textbook that we are referring. Okay, so let me just continue. First of all, we have to understand what is the meaning of finding patterns using regular expressions. To understand the power of regular expressions and pattern matching, we have to first write a program without using the concept of regular expressions and pattern matching. Uh, First of all, what is pattern matching? Now, let us say that I have a string, okay? Let us say that I have a string, and in the string, I want to check if a particular pattern appears, or if I want to know if a substring is present or no, if I want to know whether a substring is present or no. Or in simple terms, I just want to know whether the pattern of entering the email is proper or no, okay? Basically, pattern matching is used to check whether the data is entered in a particular pattern or no. For example, an email ID. We all know the format of an email ID. How does an email ID looks like? First, what we do is there has to be some name that has to appear first in an email ID, followed by an @ symbol. @ symbol is compulsory in an email ID, followed by a little bit more text, and then after that there is a dot, and then after that again there is some text. So we know that an email ID basically contains a text, @ symbol, a little more text, dot, and then a little more text. Okay, that is how an email ID appears. Everybody's email ID should be of that pattern only. Now, if I have asked the user to enter an email ID, and if I want to check whether the user has entered in that pattern or no, then I make use of regular expressions and pattern matching. If he has entered it in the correct format, then I can process it. If not, then I can display a message to the user saying that he has not entered a valid email ID. So I hope you have understood what is the meaning of pattern matching. Pattern matching is a technique in a programming language to check if a particular pattern appears in a string or no. That's about it. Now, I want to now do this without using regular expressions. Okay, I want to do this without using regular expressions. Now, say you want to find an American phone number in a string. You know the pattern if you are an American. 3 numbers, a hyphen, 3 numbers, a hyphen, and 4 numbers. This is the pattern of a phone number in the US. Okay, there are three numbers, then there is a hyphen, then again there are three numbers, then again there is a hyphen, and again there are four numbers. Okay, this is the pattern of phone numbers in the US. Now I ask the user to enter a phone number, and I want to check whether he has entered it properly or not. Okay, I may enter four numbers first, four numbers, then I may enter a star, then I may enter again numbers and so on, but that would be an invalid phone number. I want to make sure whether the phone number is valid or not, then I make use of pattern matching. Okay, without using regular expressions. Remember, I'm not using regular expressions. Later in Python, how to use regular expressions, that we will learn. But first, I want to check whether this phone number without using a regular expression. So that's why I write a function called as is phone number. Okay, is phone number, and then to this I pass the string. To this I pass the phone number, and this function is going to check whether the entered number is a valid number or no. So what do we do is, first of all, we know that how many characters are there in this string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Remember that in the US, a valid phone number contains 12 characters. 12 characters. Okay. And these characters, of course, has to be what? It has to be the first three has to be digits. Then after that, there has to be a hyphen. Then after that, there has to be three more digits. Then after that, again, there has to be a hyphen and then four digits. So the first thing that I check is I check the length of the text, and if it is not equals to 12, then I return a false. What is this function going to do? Is phone number function is going to check whether the phone number is valid or no, the one which you are sending to it as a parameter. When you call this function by sending the phone number along with it, this function actually returns you a false if the phone number is not valid. It will return you a true if the phone number is valid. If the phone number is not valid, it will return you a false. If the phone number that you have passed to it is valid, then it will return you a true. So first I check this text, I take the length of that and check if it is not equals to 12, then of course I have to return a false. Okay, return false means the program will stop here, the function will stop here, it will not continue executing further. But if the length is equals to 12, then it will go to the next part. Here then what you do is you start from 0 to 3. Why you take from 0 to 3 is because you start from 0, 1 and 2. You take the first three indexes. You take the first three characters of the phone number and check if it is decimal. Okay, so you take a range from 0 to 3, and then you check the first when the value of I is equals to 0, the first character is taken and it is checked whether it is a decimal or no. The is decimal function, you know what it does? It actually checks whether this character here is a digit. Okay, if it's a digit, then good. So what we do here, if this character is not a decimal, then return false, of course, because I want the first three characters of this string to be digits only. So I check that. The first three I check. In case if it is not, then I return a false. If this works out properly, it is confirmed that the first three characters of my phone number are digits. Then I go to the next part in my function. Remember, the moment return false is encountered, the further execution of the function will stop. So that's why first I check if the length is 12, then I check the first three characters are digits or no, and then I want to check whether the fourth character is a hyphen. So I check if the fourth character is not equals to a hyphen, then return a false. Otherwise, go further. It means that the fourth element is a hyphen. Go further and check from 4 to 7, they are digits or no. The same concept you apply even here. Check starting from the fourth character till the seventh character are digits or no. Then again check for the hyphen, and then after that, check for the remaining four. Check for the remaining four. I think it is down here. Yeah, check for the remaining four, starting from 12, 8 to 12. Check for the remaining four characters, they should be digits. In case if it is not a digit, then return false. At last, if everything is fine, then you return a true. At last, you return a true. So basically what the function is doing is, it is accepting a string which is a phone number, and it is checking whether the entered phone number is a valid US phone number or no. What is a valid US phone number? There are starting three digits, then there is a hyphen, then again three digits, then there is a hyphen, and then there are four digits. To do this, we have to do how much logic here. See how much logic we have to do here. Sorry, I think I have lost somebody. Yeah. So now that I want to do this without using regular expression, see, I have to write function so big. It continues here. I have to write the function so big. Without using regular expression, this is what happens. You have to write logic for every part of the string. Okay, this is without using regular expressions. Now we will learn regular expression and see in Python how it makes life simple, how it makes the entire logic very simple. Now, first of all, you pass 415 hyphen 555 hyphen 4242 as the parameter, and it returns you a true because this is a valid phone number. Then you pass some other string to the function is phone number. Then you write something like this, which is actually definitely not a valid phone number. So it will return you a false. So this first one will return you a true. It will display you a true. And this one will display you a false. Okay, is phone number a phone number true? And then you can see the output here. A phone number, this is false. So I hope you understood how to do pattern matching without using regular expression. And what did we understand from this? We understood that it is a lot of hectic, lot of logic has to be written, programs become bulky, becomes very big. Now let us try to learn what is regular expressions. Okay. Finding patterns of text with regular expressions. What is the meaning of a regular expressions? In a regular expression, basically we make use of shortcuts to check if there are digits present, to check if there are alphanumeric characters present, or to check if there are white spaces present or special characters present. We make use of classes like this. If I want to check whether there is a digit present, I use a shortcut that is \d. A \d basically represents the presence of a digit. Okay. Similarly, there are such shortcuts. There are such shortcuts which are used to check if there is a particular character appearing in my main string, but \d is used to checking the digits. So we make use of combination of shortcuts like this and flower bracket special characters like this to count how many of them are there, and then we also make use of the star symbol, the plus sign, the question mark, and the dollar symbol. All that we make use of that to check the count of digits or the count of alphanumeric and all that. Now remember that in Python, if you want to make use of regular expressions, now you have to include a library. You have to include a library in your Python program, and the library that you have to include is RE. You have to import that into your Python. You know that if you want to include a library in your Python program, you have to use the import function, import statement. Import space RE. RE, if you write, it means this is regular expression. This stands for RE. It's a short form for a regular expression. Okay, it includes a regular expression. It contains a lot of built-in functions. This RE library contains a lot of built-in functions which you can make use of to work with regular expressions. Okay. Now, I think we have a table here somewhere. Okay. Now, the previous example which we wrote, where we were checking for a valid phone number, you know how much logic we had written. But if I want to do the same thing using regular expression, this is what I use. I use this. I told you that to check if a particular pattern appears in a string or no, I can make use of shortcut. \d represents a digit that is between 0 to 9, followed by a flower bracket containing some count. So when I write \d flower bracket 3, this matches any 3 digits. Remember, this matches any 3 digits. If in your string there are 3 digits, this small part here matches 3 digits. Then I'm telling in my regular expression that after the 3 digits, there should be a hyphen. So I write a hyphen directly here. I want to match a pattern where there should be 3 digits followed by a hyphen. Then again after that there should be 3 digits, because I've written backslash d. Backslash d, I told you, represents any digit from 0 to 9. But how many of them should be there? 3 of them should be there. And after that there should be again a hyphen, and then after that I should have 4 digits. So this is one regular expression here which will match a valid phone number from the United States. Okay. So instead of writing a big logic like that, which we had written on the top, we can simply write this one small pattern here, and then we can check if this pattern appears in my string or no. Now, how to check that, we will see. Okay, the first thing is, if you want to use regular expressions in your Python program and you want to check whether a pattern appears or no, first thing I told you is that you have to import RE into your Python program. And then after that, there are some built-in functions available in this RE library which you make use of, and you check if the pattern appears. What I have here is a compile function. The RE library contains a compile function, okay, returns a regular expression pattern object. To create a regular expression object that matches the phone number pattern, enter the following into the interactive shell. Backslash d, we know it represents a digit. So if I write phone number regex is equals to re.compile 3 digits hyphen 3 digits hyphen 4 digits. I can also write it like this. Remember, I can also write it like this. Backslash d, 3 means this backslash d will appear 3 times. Backslash d, again 3 in the flower bracket here represents this is appearing 3 times. Or I can also write backslash d 3 times. I can write backslash d 3 times because digit hyphen 3 more digits hyphen 4 digits. So I can write my regular expression even like this without using the flower brackets also. So now let us see what does this compile function does. Phone number is a regular expression. Okay, what I have in phone number, this is a variable in which now an object of regular expression comes. And what is this object of regular expression? It contains what type of pattern? It contains this type of a pattern where I have 3 digits hyphen 3 digits hyphen and then 4 digits. So this phone number regex now contains an object of the regular expression. Now I want to match this. I want to search in a main string whether this pattern appears or no. For matching, I can use functions like search. There is a function called as search, or there is a method. Functions, you know, are one and the same. There is a method called as search in the RE library, which I make use of to check if it appears. Now see what I do. First of all, I create an object of the regular expression, and the object is in this variable phone number regex is equals to re.compile, and this is the regular expression now which is there in phone number regex. Now I want to check whether my string, now my string is my phone number is this, my string is this, okay, my complete string in which I want to check this pattern is there or no. Now look at this pattern here, 3 digits hyphen 3 digits hyphen 4 digits. Is this pattern present in this string? The string starts from here, it ends here. Remember, the string starts there and it ends here. This is my string. In this string, do you find this pattern? Yes, I can see it. I can see that there are 3 digits here. I can see that there is a hyphen, there is 3 digits, there is hyphen, and there are 4 digits. Now I make use of the phone number regex dot search, and then I pass the string in which I want to check whether the pattern appears or no. And then the search function returns me something. The search function returns me something which I'm taking it into this variable mo. Okay, and what it does is the search function searches for this pattern. What is this pattern? 3 digits hyphen 3 digits hyphen 4 digits. Checks for this regular expression in this main string, and then it returns back mo. It returns back something which I print. Then I say print mo.group. Print mo.group. Now what will it display is it will display the complete string that is present in the main string which matches this pattern. It comes into YAMO, and that is what I displayed here. So that's why when I say print phone number found and then YAMO.group, it will display me phone number found with a colon as it is. From here to here, it will display as it is. And then after that, what is there is the phone number. So MO.group is nothing but the data which is present in the string which matches this pattern. So you know what is a search method does? The search method searches for that pattern in the string and returns you that string which matches the pattern. Now let us see what is the YAMO object basically. The YAMO variable is just a generic name to use for the match object. This example might seem complicated at first, but it is much shorter. Yeah, we will see more examples on this later on, and then you will understand. Instead of this, what I will do is I will write a small program to explain you this. Okay, I will write a program in Python to explain you the concept of regular expressions. Okay, the same concept. Now I will type the program and I will show it to you. So I'll open Sublime Text and then start writing the program. First of all, I have to import RE. You know, I have to import that, and then let us say I declare a variable PH phone number is equals to, or else I will write it for USN number. Okay. We know how does the USN number of VTU looks like. Okay, how does the USN number looks like? I'll just write it here: 2mm10CS009. Okay, this is a typical phone number. This is a typical USN number of university. First, I have a digit followed by 2 characters, followed by 2 more digits, followed by 2 more characters, and then three digits. So this is how the USN number of VTU student will appear like: digit, 2 characters, 2 digits, 2 characters, and 3 digits. Okay, so now let us say I want to check whether this is present in a variable or no. So I declare this to mm10cs009. First of all, I have to declare the object of the regular expression. So I'll just copy it from here. So USN regex is the object, re.compile, and then what I want there to be, first there should be a digit, so I will remove that. So I have 1 digit, then after that 2 characters. Now, like how we have \d to check digits in the regular expression, to check characters, alphabets from A to Z. If you want to know whether there are alphabets from A to Z, there has to be a shortcut like that. \d is used for digits. Now let us see what is used for checking alphabets. These are all examples of digits only. I can see only digits. Now, how do we check a character? So I'm sure it will be there here. These examples are only for digits. You can see that it is only for digits. Yeah, character classes are there. First is the digit class, next is the character. \d is the shorthand for regular expression, which starts from 0 to 9. Similarly, for any character that is not a numeric from 0 to, yeah, \D we use for that. \D we use. \D we use for checking if it's a character. Yeah, if it's a character. Now I'll just go back here and then let me write here. I have 2 characters, so \D. Okay, so what I want is I want a digit, then I want 2 characters, then again 2 digits I need, that is there, 2 digits, and then again after that 2 characters and then 3 digits. I hope I'm not making any mistake here. Let me just save the program. I'll go to the command prompt here, Python test files, and then I will just write here regular or regex or usn underscore regex.py. Okay, this is the name of my program. So what it checks for is it checks for 1 digit, 2 characters, 2 digits, 2 characters, and then 3 digits. I hope this is clear. Okay, so I have my regular expression. Now I will check. Okay, I will check my send number is like this. I will write, and then I will write all this. We'll go further. I will go and okay, so I'll just copy this thing from here. So this is an object that, and I have to copy this Control C, Control V. I have to paste regular expression, search, and then I will write Control C. I will write that here, or I can simply write USN here. Okay, USN. Okay, I think this should file save. Now I want to run this program, so go to the command prompt, I go to the D drive, CD, Python test files, and then I will run my program Python usnregex.py, enter. And then you can see that it displays me from this. My complete string is my USN number is 2mm10CS009, and then it displays me, it will pick up exactly that USN number from the string, and then it displays it to me. So what has gone into the program? First of all, I have a string in which this is the main string in which my USN number can be anywhere. I can write some junk also after this. I can write some junk also like this after that. So my complete string is this. It contains some meaningful string here. Then there is a USN number in between. And then after that, there is again some junk data. So my complete string is here. Now I want to check whether a USN number is there in this string or no. And we know that the USN number, there is a typical pattern. The pattern is there should be a digit, 2 characters, 2 digits, 2 characters, and 3 digits. This is the pattern. So first I define my pattern in a regular expression object. And then I need to write that properly. I have to write \D for matching a digit. Immediately after that, there should be 2 characters. Then there should be 2 digits again. Then there should be 2 characters again. Then 3 digits. What if I remove this? What if I remove that? Now remember, I have removed that 1 0 from that. So this is not a valid USN number now. Okay, and this USN number does not match this pattern. Why? Because what I'm saying in my regular expression is that the pattern should contain a digit, then there should be 2 characters. The first till here it is fine. Then there should be 2 digits, that is also okay. And then there should be 2 characters, that is also fine. But after that, there should be 3 digits I have said in my regular expression, but here there are only 2 digits. Now let us see whether this will run or not. So I saved my program and I execute my program. So you can see now that it displays me an error. Why? Because from the string it is not getting in YAML, nothing is coming because this pattern did not match. That's why it is empty. And since it is empty and I'm trying to do mo.group, which does not exist, there is nothing that has come into mo, and I'm trying to display it in the form of a group. So that's why it displayed me an error. Okay, and the moment I put some digit here which matches the pattern, now if I run, you can see that it displays me properly here. It displays me properly here. Now, if I don't want this, let us see what will happen if I simply do this mo, and then, yeah, this also displays me an error because that group function is required. And there is a, yeah, Omkar is asking a question as to will the matching of the characters be case sensitive? Yeah, will it be case sensitive? No, when I use backslash capital D, it will match anything. It will match capitals and smalls both. For example, here now you can see that if I save this program, my USA number is valid. Okay, my USA number is valid, so it will display me. I'll clear the screen. It will display me this properly. Okay, 2mm 10CS009 also it matches. Now we convert this small mm to capital mm and then CS to capital CS, and I save the program. File, save, and then I come here, I execute the program. You can see that it still displays me 2 capital mm. So this backslash D here actually matches both capitals and smalls. Now Omkar is asking me a question as to will it also match characters which are or numbers which are enclosed with quotes. What is your thing is like if my string contains a single quote like this, you're asking whether it will match a character which is enclosed in single quotes. Okay. If you say that if my string contains a digit which is enclosed in single quote, now remember even single quote is a character. Even single quote is a character that has to be matched. If at all you want to match a digit, then you have to write. Okay, then you have to write you have to even match this single quote backslash. Okay, into this bracket you have to write single quote. If you want to match a single quote, you have to write that in bracket like that, and then you have to even match that. Please remember that even single quote is a character which is present in the main string. So you have to check for the single quote and then a digit and then again a single quote, and then after that, the remaining part of the USN number. So please remember that if you write anything in a string, they become characters of the string, whether they are digits or alphabets, or they are special characters, or even single quotes, they are characters of the string. Okay, so we have to be a little careful about the single quotes in the string. We will come to see how to match these special characters later on. If I want to check whether a single quote is appearing in the string or no, whether there is a backslash appearing in the string or no, that special characters matching, we will see it later on. But it is possible. And remember, the backslash D here represents any character, whether small or capital. It matches everything. Okay, that you have to keep it in your mind. Now you have learned two important functions of regular expression. First is the compile. The compile is used to generate a regular expression so that you can check whether that that pattern appears in a string or no. Next, we learned the search method, which will search for this regular expression in the string. It will search for this regular expression in the string here and then return you back that object. And then if you want to display that object or that data from the string, you simply write mo or whatever is the name of the variable here, dot group. So we have learned how to compile a regular expression and how to search for the pattern in a string using compile and search. Now this is a small review of the program that we have written. First of all, you have to import regex, then create the object of the regular expression, then call the search method by passing the string as the parameter and using the regular expression object, and then the match object will be returned. Yeah, the match object is YAML object. Match object will be returned, which you can use the group function and you can display that. Okay, so this is a review of what we have done in the previous program, of what we have done in this program here. First of all, import a regular expression, then create an object of the regular expression, then use a search function to get a match object, and then display the match object using the group function. Okay. Now let us go for more pattern matching with regular expressions. We can write any number of examples. In the textbook here, they have given you to match a valid phone number from the United States. Then I wrote one example to match the USN number. Like this, we can match any type of a pattern that appears, but you should know how to use them, which is the library that you have to include. Okay. So now let us see further what is there. So they have explained here about the group function, the match object you will get. Look at this example here. It matches 3 digits, 3 digits, 4 digits. And then what you get in MO, you know, you will get a match object. And then when we say mo.group, it will display the entire matching. But you don't want to display the entire phone number. You want to display only the first 3 characters. Then you can make use of match object.group into bracket. You have to pass how many characters you want to display. So if you write mo.group, mo.group 1, it will display the first 3 digits. mo.group 2, then it will display both. And then if you write 0, it will display all the 3. And if you don't pass anything, that will display you all the 3 groups of the regular expression. Okay. So basically, why do we use the group function is to display how much part of the match object you want. Okay. It displays you how much part of the match object you want to display. You want to display the first part of the group, then you simply say group of 1, it will display you the first part. If you say 2, it will display you the 2 parts of the phone number. If you say 0, it will display you everything. If you don't pass anything, it will display you everything. Okay, that is what we had used here. You can see we had used that only, mo.group. We did not pass any parameter here, so that's why it displayed us the entire phone number. So the group function basically takes parameters which will be from where you can display part of the match object or the complete match object. So this is about the group function. So you can read a little theory about the group function over here. You can see by passing the integer 1 or 2 to the group, the match object, you can grab different parts of the match text. You can display the different parts of the match text. Okay. And then, yeah, I will explain to you about these later on. These are special characters that are used to group. Backslash is used to escape characters. Backslash D is digit. Backslash capital D is character. And we will be learning about escape characters, and then which are the special characters that are used in these have special meanings. Okay, these characters which are there have special meaning in regular expressions. We use the flower brackets here to write the count. Square brackets also we write to combine or merge it into a class. Okay, so we will be learning about all this in the next class. Okay, so I will stop here today, and then I will continue again in the next class, where I will be continuing with regular expressions with Python.